Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the quarterfinals weekend of the Osu Taiko World Cup 2023. My name is Luminite, and we will be talking about the United States versus the United Kingdom. We have a very exciting matchup here, and I myself, being a United States citizen, we felt it was only right to have a United Kingdom citizen join us as well. So I'm joined by the lovely Teasel. I'm very excited about this. How are you, Teasel?
I'm great, and of course, naturally, I am here filling the role of the United Kingdom caster. Because, you know, what's the fun in the match only being kind of between the players? Why not have the live commentary
Exactly.
head-to-head as well? So there will be no bias whatsoever.
There will be absolutely no bias. I am 100% okay with the UK winning, and I am totally serious about it. But it's fine, you know. Teasel and I actually, it's really cool, I think, for these kinds of commentaries to be on the match live, because I think both of us actually have insider ideas of what the teams are thinking themselves. And of course, we don't want to say it on stream because we don't want any team to have an advantage if they are listening. But we do have that insight, that personal thinking that some of our team's players are thinking of, and that makes it really interesting.
Yeah, totally. I know a lot of these players inside and out, you know, having spoken to them for many years, so I have a good idea of what they're planning on doing here.
Now, remember, you can't, I believe the predictions are still open, whether you can bet on the United States or the United Kingdom. The face-off between the United countries. United Kingdom opting to ban the gimmick. I think it's actually very smart on their part.
Yeah, the United States is a country that's very well known for performing quite well on the gimmick maps in tournaments, so naturally, get rid of the gimmick map. Means you don't need to practice it either. And the US decides to ban DT1.
And that is that's most definitely expected. They did express their distaste with the SVs in Double Time 1, and we've seen this weekend many teams struggle with the technicality and SVs of DT1.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of people compare sort of DT1 to being a lot more friendly towards a bongo playstyle over KDDK, and the UK has quite a lot of those bongo players, so the US probably just doesn't want to take any chances.
That being said, the United States wants to start with speed. Sui no mai hime. If my pronunciation is incorrect, please spare me the embarrassment. Do not be...
Actually, I don't know Japanese. I'm sure it was fine.
I know that one of the most well-known players in the United Kingdom, he's not on the team, but Metso does speak Japanese. I bet he would be able to help us.
Probably.
But,
Get him in the booth.
Don't be fooled by the fact that this map is 202 BPM. We do have the equivalent of 30314 14 snaps in this map. That's why we decided to choose it for this week. It's definitely 23 beats up from Athaza from last pool, but in comparison, or in contrast to last pool rather, there's nothing crazy about it, i.e. Athaza was full of really crazy finishers that some players struggle with or sacrifice the score advantage with.
Yeah, so far I've seen this map actually be quite popularly picked among the teams, so it seems like, you know, it's not been too offensive to the players. They've taken it on board quite well.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat map, I think, overall. You know, anytime we have this kind of like 202, but it's equivalent to something really faster, I think those maps are really unique. And Sendel is honestly, you know, we used one of Sendel's maps last year in quarterfinals, and that was Zopper Kugel, which was almost entirely banned because Hidden 1 is almost always banned. But see him come back this year with something somewhat similar, it's really interesting to see just the kind of aversion that this community has to this idea of equivalence, even though it's technically 303, but 202 on the surface.
Yeah, look, everyone's off to a really strong start. The UK actually taking the lead, accuracy being the game.
Pat and RJ are holding on for the United States team. But Aurora's accuracy is a little bit lower than everyone else's in the lobby. That's what's really giving the United Kingdom a very small advantage for now. We are already halfway through the map. It's very short.
Yeah, Inspect Element picking up a couple of 100s there, keeping that score lead very minimal. A single miss is pretty much going to decide this point.
If they even miss.
Yeah, the final Ki is really intense though.
Pet and Gohigi both holding double S's right now. RJ and Inspect Element facing off each other, which leaves Dusk and Aurora, and Dusk has the advantage on Aurora in accuracy. Already nearing the end of the map. Will the UK open with a break point?
Aurora fast out with the miss. They just gotta keep holding on and they're good. It's the outro of the map.
Aurora finding yet another miss. Dang.
I don't think anyone would have seen this coming. The UK taking the break point on
right
the US's first pick.
Yeah.
Really great scores though. Gohigi with the double S naturally.
Four FCs across the board. Aurora, the only person struggling a little bit at the last Ki, as you said, Teasel. It gets a little crazy. But I mean, I think this is actually really good news for the UK. Mentally, I think if I was on a team like the United States, I would be like, crap. Like, we just picked something that, even if it wasn't their most confident pick, we picked something that we felt we had an advantage on, and we lost. And in a matchup in a matchup as close as this one is, every single point matters. It's up to the United States now to break the point back, because if they don't, then they're going to be down 2-0, and they will be at a disadvantage as we go on through this match.
I think it's very possible that we will see a breakpoint return back over to the US. I believe out of every kind of map that the US and the UK both played last week, the US beat the UK on all of them. So yeah, there's definitely opportunity there. It was on Free Mod 2, but there's not really kind of an equivalent Free Mod 2 this week. DT1, which I believe has been banned for this match, and also on No Mod 1, so that's definitely a potential pick that's open. The UK deciding to go with Hard Rock 1 though.
And I think this is
this week.
It is, and it's honestly a fantastic map too. I think this is probably, because I was in charge of quarterfinals, this is probably my favorite map of the whole pool. I think He-Rock did a great job. Plus, the song itself is very unique and interesting from Ubo Shichasuke, one of our FAs, that we're very thankful to have. But, mod-wise, I think this is an interesting pick from the UK, because Churro and Pet are both proficient in Hard Rock, and as is Aurora, but Aurora is, I feel like I see him perform way better with Hidden and Hidden Hard Rock together. So I'm interested to see his performance with Hard Rock alone.
Yeah, looking over at the UK, we see a similar situation, Gohigi and Over the Hedge being very, very strong Hard Rock players. Dusk, on the other hand, much more known for his Hidden. For those of you not familiar with the pool structures, Hard Rock 1 is designed to be the one that is a little bit more difficult to maintain accuracy on, and even combo depending on the technicality of some of these patterns. And Midnight Trickster is a map that actually does use some pretty difficult patterns, but nothing that these players of this caliber are unaware of and not used to. The first miss of the lobby though is going to come from Aurora. Yeah, not great for the US as the UK continues to pull that lead ahead, but once again it's really minimal. And we are only halfway through, there's plenty of silly patterning coming up, but Churro Chef also picking up the miss.
Pet holding on really strong for the US, but he's the only one holding on. All three United Kingdom players holding on. Dusk, oh, as I say that, over the hedge, finding a miss. But Gohiki and Dusk holding on is going to be enough for now. Heading into the last quarter of the map.
Yeah, the US are going to have to see another break from the UK, ideally from either Gohiki or Dusk, in order to try to take this back and secure that break point they're really looking for.
Exactly. The end does have much more difficult patterns, as longer patterns as well. So this is the last time for the United States to pick it up. If it doesn't happen here, it's not going to happen at all. Aurora finding a miss on the last section. British section holding strong. It looks like the Brits are going to take their own point as well.
What an incredible start from the UK overall.
Definitely a strong start from the United Kingdom. I think that, Teasel, you and I are both familiar that theoretically the United Kingdom is the underdog here.
Yeah,
so to see
totally
that,
agree.
yeah, to see this start from the United Kingdom is exciting, quite frankly, because even if the US can bring up their momentum as time goes on, they have an uphill battle from now on. They have it. It's a fact. They have to not only win their own pick, but find a break point again. So from now on, the pressure is on the US, not the UK.
Yeah, and the US decides to go with No Mod 1, as I said earlier. That was one of the maps that they beat out the UK on last week. So this is one of their best opportunities to try and pick up that point. They've proven that they do beat the UK on No Mod 1 maps, so all they need to do is just do it here and now.
It's gotta be tough for the US now, facing probably at least a little bit of nerves, because a lot of these American players are very used to playing in tournaments. But they're definitely facing the nerves of, if we lose another pick, then we're gonna be down 3-0 with the next pick belonging to the UK. This is honestly a very important pick that will decide the feeling that we have going forward of the match. Will it be a ping pong back and forth, or will the UK really get a hands up and then have the US almost forced to close reverse sweep, if not almost reverse sweep?
Yeah, I think this is one of the matches that, you know, like taking a look at the pick'ems, 95.2% in favor of the US, and it's just going the complete opposite way at the moment, so clearly panning out to be a really exciting match.
Now, Sugary Daydream is a very popular map by TKS. It's been out for about, I want to say 3 to 4 years now. It was used in the North and South American Taiko tournament, and I'm aware that it's been used in other tournaments around the board. But it's often been used for a mod selection, so to see it in TWC as a no mod is quite interesting. All players competing on the same level, seeing the map just as it was made by TKS. So far, UK with a slight accuracy advantage.
Yeah, this map has some really tough parrying in the 1/6s, especially at 230 DPM, and the first bird to miss is Inspect Element for the side of the UK. And this is the first time that we've had a significant lead for the US so far this match.
Dusk, the first one that's gonna find a miss. Oh, just kidding, Inspect Element did, as you said earlier. Don't know why I didn't register that in my brain.
Yeah,
important momentum for the United States, but
absolutely.
Cheese finding a miss.
Salad.
As we head into the densest part of this whole map, the most technical spot, including some 1-6 and long 1-4 rolling patterns if you are a roller, not a full alter. The United States holding on, but by a thread. Gohiki finding a miss, though, on the British side.
Yeah, things are looking really great for the US to secure their first point. All they need to do is just keep holding on, and they're doing really well at that. Just look at the accuracies of Tech and RJ.
He's finding another miss though here at the end. Question is, he didn't lose a lot of accuracy, so it might not really give UK any leverage, if any, at all.
Now we're coming up to the end of the map now, and I don't foresee anything changing drastically at this point.
And there it is. The United States' first point is going to be on Sugary Daydream. Nomad 1.
They're on the board now.
Exactly. Unfortunately for the US, though, the next pick does belong to the UK. And the UK is going to have to think about this pretty seriously, because if they pick something they're confident in, that's good. But if the United States can counter their confident pick and get that second breakpoint, that's going to be detrimental to the mental of the United Kingdom.
They decide to go for Nomad 4, Black Magic Blazing. This one being essentially the tiebreaker light of this pool.
Exactly,
being
yep.
Pretty long, focusing a lot more on stamina and consistency, but it's also pretty speedy as well. Kind of takes aspects of everything.
Yeah, you know, as I said on the stream before, I was unfortunately able to finish the rest of that stream because of some personal things. The Nomad 4 from now on is going to be a wild card. And wild cards are an idea that were brought by me from the North and South American Taiko tournament. They kind of exist solely to balance the pool overall. Because, you know, what I decided to do is, you know, a lot of our picks that don't include this one, they're kind of short. Black Magic Blazing is the only map in the pool that kind of touches on everything at a higher BPM and with a longer length. I think this is exactly the kind of thing I wanted to put in Nomad 4, and I did. And it's worked out really well and produced some really interesting matchups for this weekend so far.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be another match where that outcome that you're looking for is going to be replicated.
The second longest map in the pool, 4 minutes and 19 seconds, but as Teasel said, it's 256. So the things that are presented to these players at this BPM, it's not anything to joke around about.
Oh, and over the hedge finding really early misses just on that first screen.
Finding yet another miss too. First breakdown, it's very short, but the US has the advantage by only 13,000 points.
Yeah, if you're going to miss anywhere in a map like this, the very beginning is the best place to do that. It could be the strat, you know, you don't have the nerves towards the end of the map that you're still got the full combo.
It's true. I do think that the idea. Oh, Dusk finding a miss now. But I was gonna say that I think the idea that missing early helps is significant only to playing by yourself, as Over the Hedge finds yet another miss. Because, you know, when you're playing in a tournament like this, especially with a team as well matched as the United States, every single miss you have counts. Whereas if you're playing solo, you're focused more on your own personal growth. So I think that actually does play a heavy factor in what's going on here, as Over the Hedge and Dusk find some very small misses.
Yeah, but those small misses are adding up. The US has got a really great lead now. And with Galigi missing, it's only going to get further. And this is the UK's pick. The US needs a breakpoint in order to tie things back up, and so far this is looking like it's going to be it.
Oh, Cheese finding the first miss on the United States team, though.
We have to see a lot more drops from them, though. We're going to want to see the scores tie up again in the UK to get back on track for winning their own point.
Biggest problem for the UK right now is Over the Hedge's accuracy is in the lowest in the lobby. Although it is high in regards to how difficult this map is, as Dusk finds another miss, that is pretty low in regards to all the US players and even the UK players themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure with this break, the players on the side of the UK can see that they're quite significantly behind now, and that there's not really any room for error.
It's pointed out very often in tournaments all around the world as we go from taiko to standard to catch. Anytime you have that long break, these teams can see the scores unless they have the overlay disabled, which even then I'm not sure because I haven't actually seen what it looks like if you have the overlay disabled overall. But whenever you see yourself in the lead, that adds a lot more extra pressure to you than you were aware of.
The US are continuing to hold really strong though. Both Pet and RJ still with the full combos. Really high accuracy as well. And with such a big score lead of over 100,000 now, and more misses continuing to come out from the UK, I don't foresee the UK being able to take this back, which is looking like it's going to be a really strong breakpoint for the US. The one that they really needed.
Yeah, Cheese Salad found a number of misses there in that Ki, but Over the Hedge found way more. He's now underneath 97, where all the American players, even regardless of Cheese's misses, they're all over 99 now. Dusk finding another miss too at the very last few seconds of this map. This is a comfortable pick for the US, and this is exactly what they needed to break the chain that the UK got up on them. And after this pick, the two teams will be even.
Alright, things at the beginning of this match were looking really favoured towards the UK, but the United States has proven that that is not quite the case. We're tied up again 2-2 as if those breakpoints never happened.
One way to look at like these kinds of evenings of points is like, imagine that the US and the UK didn't have these 2 points. Okay, cool. So if it's the first of 4, if we ignore the 2 points that they already got, the UK has a very like 1% advantage only because they're the person that's going to choose first. So it's up to them now, because if they win this next pick, then they can at least guarantee a ping pong return between the US and the UK. But this next pick could really define what happens between the two.
Yeah, it's going to be hidden too, going for another speed map. The US might have seen that the UK struggled a bit more in that 256 BPM and wanting to kind of take advantage of that and throw in the hidden mod as well. So we have Aurora swapping in for Pet, and the UK roster seems to be staying the same.
For a hidden pick, this is definitely what you want to see on the American side. Cheese and RJ are seasoned hidden players, and Aurora, like I said earlier when we first started the match, he is pretty much very versatile. He's one of the most versatile players on the US team. So this is actually a very intimidating lineup for the UK against the US. But you know, in theory, for the US to pick this, it should be in their favor.
Yeah, both of these teams have a really great lineup for this style of map, so I honestly don't know what way it's going to go. I think if we purely look at it based off of the last map, it's probably going to be US favored, and so far it is, with Gohigi being the first one to find the misses.
That's exactly what the US needs. If they find this third point without trouble, then we're gonna be right back to the pitter patter as Dusk finds another miss. The only 2 misses so far coming from the British side. if the UK if the US rather sorry the US if they can find this point, then they'll be right back in the position that they were supposed to start in this tournament.
Yeah, and with a score lead of over almost 50k already, it's looking quite likely.
RJ finding some misses, so does Over the Hedge. However, we're waiting on Dusk to catch up to really see where the UK is right now. Hopefully he didn't DC. This is a little bit worrying. I believe that it's too late to call an abort for this pick. But
Yeah.
if Dusk does finish the map on his own side, he can submit a screenshot to the referee to count his score. But it's going to be interesting if Dusk has DC'd, that we're not going to be able to know what exactly that score is that he has.
There's nothing on the MP link indicating that he has left, but look at the US's scores. They're still continuing to hold 2 full combos, and everyone's got really high accuracy. The UK's had multiple strings of misses and big drops in accuracy, so I think even with Dusk's score thrown in as well, I just don't know if the UK would be close enough to be able to be in the lead.
Well, the United States. Oh, Dusk has now gotten back, but he is he might play the rest of the match.
All right, we're gonna watch him go up the next 600,000 score.
Although, yeah, we will
Really
see
solid watch.
if we actually see the entire play.
I don't
We will
think
see if he can actually catch it up. But we won't see it with the bar.
I really don't think we will, though. If we just take a look at the scores that we already have here, the US has 2 full combos. We know for a fact the UK has none. And yeah, just the accuracies alone as well. I'm pretty sure this is a point for the US, and it is according to the MP link. The US winning by quite a big 129,000. So not even that close.
A solid effort, but that is the US's pick. It's now the UK's pick to return that 3rd point right back to the US. And the question is, where are they going to go for that 3rd point? Fremont has not been touched at all, which is interesting to me, and I feel like both teams are going to err away from picking Fremont, because I think that's dangerous ground for both of them.
Yeah, I think they're both afraid of their hidden hard rock capabilities, as this Fremont pool is very much geared towards that.
We have No Mod 2, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 2, Double Time 2, and all free mods left.
I think the interesting thing about these teams is that neither of them has really any specific weakness to exploit. Like, they have a team that can cover pretty much all of these different skill sets that are referenced here in the pool. But just talking about how we haven't seen much free mod, here it is the UK picking free mod 2, falling down.
Just as I said earlier with the US having really a lot of pressure on one of those last picks, this is a very important point, rather, for the UK. Because this is their chance to continue that tit-for-tat exchange between them and the US. But if they lose this, then it's their responsibility, like it was earlier for the US, to find a break point, having more pressure on the UK team going forward.
It looks like Gohigi is also having some genetic problems, so similarly to Dusk. So I think the only conclusion I can draw here is that there's some really significant DDoSing coming from the United States, and they're too afraid of the UK that they're having to employ such cheap strategies in order to maintain their lead.
Now I'm getting some communication from Cheese Salad. They are in fact not DDoSing the UK.
That's what they want you to think.
They're telling me that they are totally innocent and they have no part in this whatsoever. So
no, I know for a fact that Gohigi is with an internet service provider that is often very flaky with its service, so
Well, luckily we have some time to kill, and while we have some time to kill, I think it's important that we talk about the fact that the United States and the United Kingdom are both united countries, and as a taiko community, we should all be united in the idea of buying TWC banners. They're only $2.50 USD. Teasel, have you bought a banner for the UK?
No.
How come, buddy?
See, you know, there are lots of countries out there I love in the world, and by opting to support New Zealand, there's a UK flag in the corner as well. So
true,
you know,
that's true.
I'm kind of supporting both of them at the same time.
That's actually really funny.
I like supporting the underdog countries that have a lot of potential. So I've normally been buying the Sweden banners, but as we've not seen them this year, I had to switch my allegiance over somewhere else.
Well, as Teasel said, it's great to buy these banners to support the country that you love the most, even if it's not the country you come from. This is the first year in a long time I bought the United States banner, because this is the first year I think that they have a chance to podium. Until then, I bought the South Korea banner because I bought the banner of the person who I feel has the best chance of beating Japan. I don't know why I put a W there. But that being said, head over to the Osu store, sacrifice a piece of candy, sacrifice a cup of coffee. Just, you know, go one day without it. Just show your support for these countries. And even though some of them have been eliminated, you can buy the banner for any country that made it past the qualifiers. So show your support for them, show your love, even if they're not here today. Show your love, spare a few bucks, and we will absolutely love it. And we appreciate that enthusiasm for the Taiko Cup.
Alternatively, you could just give me your money. I'd quite like it. As much as possible.
That might not be legal. We might have to look into the technicalities of the law in that regard. But we'll see. You know, sure, if you want to
international game.
If you want to give your money to Teasel, feel free to donate to him. I have a feeling he has more money than I do because I'm very poor. But it's fine. It's fine. You know, here at Osu, we're very okay with people being poor.
That is definitely the message we want to get across. We like poor people. You're welcome here in our community.
All you need to know is that we all love you dearly. Thank you for tuning in. The 333 people that are here, thank you for being here. We appreciate your viewership. We appreciate your enthusiasm for this mini game, quote unquote. We're gonna jump. Exactly, we're gonna
about to begin.
Exactly, we're gonna jump right in to free mod 2.
The UK with a mod advantage, though, is Gohiki opts to take Hidden Hard Rock over the hedge with the Hard Rock and Dusk with the Hidden. And on the side of the United States, we have Pet with the Hard Rock and G-Seld and Aurora with the Hidden.
Now this is the UK's pick, so I was gonna say lots of changes here. Yeah, I was gonna say theoretically this is a comfort pick for the UK. Hopefully, for Gohiki to pick Hidden Hard Rock, I would expect him to have been doing fine so far. But we have a nearly 2,000 point lead for the US, which is absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things, as this is a 3-minute long map.
Yeah, very, very long. But the thing is, Gohiki can afford a miss or two just because of his extra mod advantage, but for Over the Hedge and Dusk, they really need to be keeping their combos as strong as possible. With Dusk picking up his second miss, things aren't looking quite as strong as they could be. Oh,
that being said, yeah.
Oh no, and Aurora picking up a miss as well. Yeah, that's the kind of thing with these doublet swing maps, is occasionally you'll pick up a miss and you'll just be playing the wrong type of doublet and you're going to pick up so many, they're going to rack up very quickly.
Yeah, the last FC on the US side belonging to Pet is gone now, as Cheese finds even more misses. Aurora recovering pretty decently, but the UK is taking a pretty strong lead here now.
Yeah, we are only halfway through though. There's plenty of opportunity for things to swap back around.
A difference of about 99,000 points between these two teams, which is a lot, but not a lot at the same time. Anything from the UK that's detrimental could really swing it right back to the US as we head into the last few PIs. But the UK has a very strong advantage going into these last PIs.
Yeah, the concentration being exhibited by these players is of the highest caliber.
Over to Hedge, finding a miss, and then Cheese follows it up with a miss of his own a few seconds later.
We're approaching the end of the map though. The UK just need to continue holding on as they are. The map just doesn't end. More double action.
Even as it reaches its end, it looks like the UK is going to be able to take this comfortably. Almost with more than 100,000 points of the lead. So the UK takes their third point, which they needed to secure their tit-for-tat exchange between the US thus far. Both teams at 3-3. The
solid score makes me very upset. More misses than 100s there, which is really unfortunate.
You know, Teasel, I think you and I have actually played Taiko a good bit. You know, me way back in the day. You more so today. Isn't it so annoying when you find more 100s than misses? It's the most annoying thing.
Yeah, you just think about, you know, how much better of a score it could have been.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a very good sign that your accuracy is doing pretty good though. So sometimes I feel kind of happy that I'm able to do that, especially as I'm a player that is not known for their accuracy. Let's just say that.
Well, as we reflect on that difference, the US is going to opt to go for Mad Piano Party 2, the free mod 3, which is supposed to be the hidden hard rock encouraged pick. So far for the US, we have RJ, Loopy, Aurora coming back, which doesn't surprise me. For the UK, thus far, we have Gohiki, Over the Hedge, and Dusk. I don't believe we've seen a singular sub on the UK team thus far, is that correct?
Sorry, what did you say?
So I don't think any of the UK players have subbed each other this far, except for these three right here.
We've had Inspect Element twice instead of Over the Hedge. Inspect Element is a speed player, so they were in for what were the first maps? The No Mod 3 and as well as No Mod 1. But other than that, it's been the same trio. So really making up the core of the UK team for this match is Gohiki, Dusk, and Over the Hedge.
This is an important pick for the United States. All three players opting for hidden of some kind. Whereas on the UK, we have hidden hard rock, so Gohiki and Loopy against each other. Over the Hedge, the only person fighting with hard rock by itself, RJ and Aurora and Dusk, choosing to fight this map with only hidden.
Yeah, no mod advantage this time, and I feel that this map is going to mostly come down towards the 1-6 bursts later on. That's where the majority of misses will happen, so it's the biggest opportunities for the scores to swing. So even though the US are in the lead right now, it can immediately flip over to the UK as Loopy misses.
And Aurora misses now too. That's a double miss on the US side. It's going to give the UK some pretty comfortable lead as we go into the last half of the map. But as you said, we still have a lot of 1-6 bursts in the long stream of the map yet to come. So it's not exactly settled for the UK, as Over the Hedge finds a miss himself.
Yeah, fortunately it was a very isolated miss, but it is a combo reset. Oh, over the hedge. Picking up loads of misses on that stream. And the lead is now back over in favor of the US.
And here comes the 1-6 burst section. Dusk finding a miss, but no American players finding a miss. That might give them the advantage. But the longest stream in the map has yet to come yet. It's coming up in a few seconds. That's really what's gonna matter. If all players can hold on.
The UK needs to see some really big tanks from the US if they want to take this breakpoint. But the
RJ
US are
finding a
doing really
miss,
well.
but a very small miss. It didn't affect his accuracy. It's gonna keep it okay for the US. They will take their 4th point on their own pick.
Gohiki getting a 23-100 full combo with the hidden hard rock. And everyone else, fairly low miscounts overall.
Yeah, the only
Just
person
the
really
style of
struck
map
was
is-
Over the Hedge and RJ both. They did find a somewhat sort of a note lock, but not really a very strong note lock as we've seen in years past. So the ball is back in the court of the UK. And it's as long as this tit for tat keeps going on between these two countries, the pressure on all of these players, all 6 of them, it's equal no matter what until one of them finds an advantage on the other team.
The UK going back over to speed as they pick double time too. They did really well on Nomad 3, and that was the unexpected breakpoint, so looking to just make it their own pick this time. And we see Inspect Element come in, and Daniel for the first time this match.
On the American side, Pet, RJ, and Aurora coming back in. We've seen these 3 players a lot. Turo has not appeared very much. He did appear for the 1 Hard Rock pick, but we've seen a few American players really sit out for now. And that's only for now, because if the UK does actually get this pick in their favor, then it's gonna continue being a very close and scary match for both teams.
Yeah, looks like we're just gonna get straight into it.
Here we go, double time 2, loading in all 6 players right now. United States up 1 point, but it is the UK's pick. This is the UK's chance and their opportunity.
However, if the US could achieve a breakpoint on this map, that would be incredibly huge, as that would take them to match point. So the stakes are really high.
This map is fairly short, only 2 minutes and 8 seconds long, with double time. Both teams very close together. All 6 of these players very familiar with the double time mod. But the first person finding a miss comes from the American side, RJ.
Yeah, the UK overall doing better on the accuracy front as well. Gohiki still holding the double S. And Pet picking up a miss again. Or no, for the first time rather. Right at the end of the KI. RJ resetting that combo once again, going into the KI. The UK having the opportunity to advance that lead even further.
Now we're heading into the last third of the map. The advantage for the UK is pretty substantial. It's about 70 to 80,000 points. The UK is going to need to see some misses if the US wants to take this break point. but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. That being said, though, there is still a good bit of map to go.
Yeah, they will need to see a couple of misses, even a full team reset from the UK if they're going to be losing this point. There's one of them, Daniel's picking up the miss.
We are really heading into the last bit of the map, though. We're going to see a miss from Gohiki and Inspect for the US to come back from this. And as we head into the last, like, 16th of the map, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, final spinner. The UK have secured their 4th point, continuing this tie.
As we head into this 4-4 scenario, I think it's important for both teams to start delegating who needs to be practicing the tiebreaker, even though it's not going to be a lot of time. Worst case scenario for both teams, the US wins 1 point and the UK wins 1 point. That's the worst case scenario, is that this ends up at 5-5. And if that's exactly what happens, then both of these teams need to have someone that's actually familiar with the tiebreaker in order to have at least some sort of theoretical advantage going in.
Alright, the US do have the advantage here as they get the first pick, and it's going to be Hidden One on Charred Sky.
I think this is a lot closer than the United States team members expected this to be, as you know, at least from myself, Diesel, when I discussed this match with the American players, they were very confident in their abilities to almost sweep the UK, almost. So to see this match go to 4-4 and this be possibly the last pick for the US, this is a big change of pace from what the US was expecting.
Yeah, the nerves are high. There's a lot riding on this one single point. Whichever team can win it, either the US or the UK, that puts them to match point and pretty much guarantees that they can't immediately lose without the tiebreaker being involved, so it's going to be Fruit Loopy, RJ, and Aurora for the US, and Gohiki, Daniel, and Dusk for the UK.
If the UK achieves a breakpoint here, while currently they have the accuracy advantage just flickering a little bit, that will give them a huge amount of leverage going to the last pick, because after this it will be their pick. That being said, the score advantage does come back to the US, but it is very small for now.
Yeah, just with the Silo map, this is lots of weird timing for these pairs, so kind of adds to that nature of the accuracy being pretty low for everyone except Gohiki and Fruit Loopy. Oh, and Aurora's at 99 as well, never mind. He's pretty good at the game.
No one finding a miss yet. We got some flickering scores a tiny bit. RJ finding the first miss though.
The lead's still in favor of the US. UK's accuracy just dropping down too low.
Yeah, Daniels is really the person on the UK team finding a really low amount of accuracy that even with RJ finding a few misses, he's sustained almost 1.5% higher accuracy than Daniels. Dusk finding a miss now too, though.
The UK still aren't too far behind though, they still can pick this back up. But we need to see mistakes from the US.
Exactly. We are heading into the last quarter of the map. It's important for everyone. If the UK wants to take this point, they really need the US to find a break here. We're getting closer and closer to the end, though. All 6 players on both teams are holding strong, though.
Oh, RJ picks a misses, but Daniel also matches them.
Matches them not only with misses themselves, finding very strong misses. Fruit, Loopy, and RJ finding misses, but it's not enough. Daniels, the only person on the UK really struggling. So did RJ with Hidden by itself. But the US will take this pick. And if the UK returns this pick, this is the most, by far, and I know I've said this I think twice thus far in this match, how pivotal certain picks can be. This is the most important pick for the UK. If they win this, they go to tiebreaker. If they lose it, then the US goes 6-4 and they move on without contest. This is a very important pick for the UK right now.
We had 2 really nice full combos, one from each team there as well, from Aurora and Gohiki. But also the 2 1-miss plays, one from Dusk, one from Lippy, so... You know, if you just purely look at that, the players are still showcasing that even as they get to the end of their picks, they're still finding a lot of things that they're pretty evenly matched on.
Very true.
Further speaks as to how kind of evenly matched these teams actually are. Yeah, this is the final map pick, and it's going to be free mod 1. It's kind of interesting that we're not going to be seeing No Mod 2 this time, especially because the UK was the team that top scored No Mod 2 last week.
Well, you know, No Mod 2 this week is, it's honestly, I think, something unfamiliar to a lot of taiko players. You know, you have constant 1/5 and 1/9 snaps, but you look at free mod 1, which is, you know, Calamity Fortune. Dake Decan was fortunate. He was nice enough to buff it a little bit for this stage, but this is a song that all of these players are very familiar with because there has been a ranked map set of this song for years now. So the song itself is familiar to all 6 of these players.
I believe overall, like, this map set that Dake has made is also pretty old in itself. This is just an edit for this year's World Cup. But this map as it is an older map, it features some patterns you don't really see in modern maps and sort of things it does, such as your mono 1/6 4-flip pattern followed by the 1 single mono color after as well. My biggest fear is the ending pattern, where we have the mono going into the 1/6 patterns, as that can trip up a lot of people, particularly bongo players. And I know looking here that I'm seeing 2, I believe. Maybe more. Hello?
Hi.
We're live.
Hi, Jukes.
Oh shit, sorry.
No, it's okay. Welcome. Oh, okay. Bye, Jukes. I was gonna say welcome to the welcome to the tournament, but he's gone now. This match has been. Yeah, this match has been so close that we even confused one of our casters into joining a little bit too early. But we're gonna continue to weigh on the final rosters for Calamity Fortune. This is the most important pick of the entire match.
Yeah, players probably really carefully considering the mod combinations they take, because they don't want to be left stuck with not having enough mods, but if they overmod, that could be the end of them as well. Picking up too many misses and unable to read it effectively. So finding that really delicate balance is important.
Here we go. Loopy and Aurora on the American side choosing Hidden Hard Rock. Gohiki, the only person choosing Hidden Hard Rock on the UK side. RJ will take on Dusk and Hidden. And Over the Hedge, the only person to pick Hard Rock by itself.
Yeah, so the US actually having the mod advantage, but as I said, that could play negatively to them. But Dusk being the first one to pick up the misses. It's absolutely crucial that the UK win this point in order to take this sort of tiebreaker. Because if the US wins, that's it, match over.
Exactly. We haven't reached the hardest part of the map yet. We are getting closer and closer to it, but that section is going to determine how this pick goes.
Oh, over the hedge.
Here we go.
Quite a few misses there.
The hardest part of the map, over the hedge, as even if you find it before the section, finding even more misses. This section is the most important part of the map. Here we go.
And all of the US players still holding on with the full combo. Things are looking really bad for the UK.
Here we go into the very last PI. The UK is still down by less than 100,000 points as Dusk finds yet another miss. All US players holding on so far. It might be too much for the UK.
Yeah, we really need to start seeing significant drops from the US, but it doesn't look like they're going to be coming in. I think the only saving grace now is that all 3 US players really mess up this final stream.
And they all hit it perfectly. The only person finding a miss there was Dusk. The US taking the UK 6-4 in a much closer match than I think both teams intended. That was absolutely... I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah, that got a lot closer than I was expecting, and I think a lot of people were expecting, as, you know, what, 93% of votes for the US? 95, rather. So, most people picked correctly, but how many people correctly predicted that it'd be a 6-4? I would honestly say probably not many. So, huge congratulations to the US. They have confirmed themselves as the best united country out there in the taiko scene.
And luckily for those that are fans of the United Kingdom team, you guys are not out yet. You have been transferred to the losers bracket. You guys have a second chance to continue on in this tournament, and that's okay. And you know, they put up a great fight against the US, and for them to put as strong as a fight as they did against the US as they did today, that really shows that the UK is a team not to be underestimated no matter what.
But yeah, we'll move on from that match and look ahead to all of the exciting ones that we continue to have this weekend. We're going to be having Chile versus Mexico 2 minutes from now, so we'll very quickly wrap this up. And then we have a really long overnight break until 9 UTC, where we'll see the Philippines versus Poland, and then Italy, Korea, Japan, and Germany, which is going to be a really big one, and Taiwan, France as well, which is another winner's bracket match. So, yeah, lots to see.
Lots to see indeed. But until then, we appreciate you tuning into this match. It's been very exciting. Kiesel and I have had a huge blast commentating this match, as it's been something that him and myself have looked forward to. But we hope that it's been fantastic. I loved it. But for now, Kiesel and I will depart, I believe. At least I will depart for sure. Please enjoy the Chile versus Mexico match. This is actually very important for the Mexican team. And we will see you next week. At least I will. Maybe I'll see you again later tomorrow. But until then, good night or good morning. Take care of yourselves and be good people.
Alright. Hello everybody, welcome back to TWC 2023. It's been a hot minute, like literally a minute. Continuing with Chile versus Mexico, my name is Juice and I'm joined by the legend himself, Janitori. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. And we just had a very exciting match between two titans of the TWC 2023 Cup so far, so I'm very excited for this one too.
Oh yeah, that's 6-4. Like my god, you could argue the UK was a little bit weaker than they were last year, but my god, they delivered. They delivered hard in the last match. So I'm wishing them all the best in the losers bracket. But for now, I guess we'll focus on the match at hand: Chile versus Mexico. Chile also with its own history at TWC, as far as I'm concerned, and Mexico. I'd say very surprising to see them in quarterfinals. Good job to them, but they'll have their work cut out for them in this match. This is going to be, an uphill battle for them, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the best that Mexico has ever done in a Taiko World Cup so far, I think.
I mean, maybe you're the like TWC mainstay. I'm just here to have fun.
That's true. I think this is the best they've done.
Are you like the walking TWC's encyclopedia, or you're already not?
I'm not sure if I've ever taken that position officially. I think I just remember a few things here and there because I've been around for a while.
I will declare you that then, at least for this match. And yeah, get right into it. Kind of missed the rules, but we're seeing Hidden 1 as per usual, and 3-2 being banned from these two teams.
This is the second match where Nomad 5 has not been banned.
Ooh. Yeah, Nomad 5 has been controversial to say the least. I'm not expecting it to get picked. Chile could probably run away with this because I don't think Mexico will have put in the hours to really grind this one out. But I don't think Chile will find it a lot of fun to play either. So maybe save it for a later stage in this match.
Yeah, normally the gimmick maps tend to favor the lower seeded teams if they practice, but Nomad 5 is just genuinely a really hard map, so I don't know if they would want to go for that.
I'm not putting my money on it, but what you can put your money on, TWC, are the team banners! They are really cheap, and you can still support your team up until the end of TWC. Go get your team banner now. I think they're like $250, right?
Yes, $250 USD.
Alright. Oh, that was the smoothest segue I've had so far. Also the only one so far.
That was perfect. You have a bright future ahead of you.
Oh. Alright. First pick we're seeing from Mexico, Midnight Trickster. Hard Rock 1, if I am not completely mistaken.
Yeah, Mexico has tended to favor the Hard Rocks in their previous matches, so this is not really all too surprising.
Also, Hero K. We always love to see Hero K maps in any map pool. And yeah, this one at least, from a spectator's point of view, still one of my most favorite ones in this week's pool. Interested to see how Mexico will fare on this. Just for reference, Mexico took down Australia last week, taking them down 5-0 in quite convincing fashion. Chile succumbed to the United Kingdom, which you've seen just then, 5-1. So, technically, there's a bit of an upside to Mexico. If we're talking like just by the numbers compared to last week. Let's see if they're going to put this into action.
Yeah, Chile last week, I mean 5-2 doesn't look like a very close scoreline, but Chile actually got incredibly good scores on a lot of the maps, so...
Yeah.
And, yeah, we all saw how well the UK was playing earlier, so that's definitely not any indictment of how Chile was playing.
And off we go to the first pick for Chile versus Mexico. Hard Rock 1. Picked by Mexico. And I'm just gonna run the numbers really quick because I think this is OD 9.6. Indeed it is.
OD numbers are getting really weird now. That's a really weird early base.
And another one on top of that. I mean, currently Chile is kind of chilling based on the 91% by Maximil on Mexico's side, who has also found their first miss now. So the misses won't hurt too much yet, but Maximil is not looking too hot on this Hard Rock 1.
Oh, everyone on Mexico actually missing. This is
Another miss from Zavery, Hyven following up. Another one. Complete team reset in terms of combo for Mexico, and Chile will run away with the lead for now as we get up to the halfway point. Chile sitting on a 99.8 thanks to Yolqui, 98% from Necromancy. Solid stuff from the Chilean players here. And looking like they're not going to give away the lead anytime soon.
Yeah, to say the least. Alqui is just running away with this one.
Yeah, it's kind of to be expected from someone as like Alqui, who's done remarkable stuff in any type of tournament before. Usually we're more crack at hidden than hard rock, I'd say, but still. Holding 99.7 at this OD with this tricky snapping changes. Yeah, this player is in a league of their own.
Yeah, very underrated on Hard Rock, I would say. At least when it comes to Hard Rock that isn't too extreme in terms of SV or BPM. He can definitely hold his own.
And yeah, Maximil is really not catching any breaks when it comes to breaking combo and losing accuracy. So with a 600,000 point lead, this will be safely in the court of Chile, taking their first break point off of Mexico. 9 100s from Yulqui. Incredible.
And I think that's one miss at the end from Necro.
32 100s on Necromancy. Solid stuff.
Oh my god, we have a no mod 5 pick. With a 5 hit forever.
It's time to rave. To worm rave.
Can I just say Worm Rave is the funniest song title that I've heard since.
Oh, it's great.
I love it. The mental image in my mind. It's fantastic.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I can see them wiggling to that. I can see them.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of words.
Yeah, just getting up and funky, just grooving in the soil of the earth.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is really rave music, though. Maybe a bit too hardcore for that.
Well, it's for worms, obviously. It's not meant for humans.
That's true. I mean, I've never been to a worm rave myself, so for obvious reasons.
But I bet that yeah, they'll have great fun. They have at least they won't have to play any gimmick maps, so they got an advantage on that.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's can play Taiko.
That's true. I mean, no one who plays Taiko also goes to raves, I would assume.
Alright. Nomad 5. Contrary to my expectations, this is the first pick from Chile. I thought we were going to see this in the second half, but might as well just get this over with.
Yeah, so just to briefly explain the gimmicks, so the smaller yellow notes are supposed to be the dons, the bigger yellow notes are the cats, and there's some sections where it shows you a pattern and then you're kind of supposed to memorize what those short patterns were and then repeat it afterwards.
Yeah, memorization is some people don't like to call it a skill, but it's definitely incredibly challenging if you're just going into it blind, not knowing what to expect. And I guess we'll see how much practice Mexico has put into this one.
Yeah, this section is more or less just trying to trip you up your reading, which it looks like it's doing that fantastically, except for Alqui.
Necromancy is finding a huge chunk of Mrs. Miucci, and Yolqui are handling that one just fine, but Mexico, oh boy, Mexico.
Wow, he's still comboing this with 99.6.
It's hard for me to be surprised about that with a player like Yolqui.
Yeah, and the patterns in the later part of the map gets even harder to see, even Alqui missing on some of those 1-6 patterns.
I mean, props to Hyven, who is actually outplaying Necromancy, as far as like player versus player is concerned. So Hyven has definitely put in some practice into this one, but that's not going to be nearly enough to take that point off of Chile. Wow, again,
Wow.
Yolkwi.
3 misses.
And that was Nomad 5.
You can definitely see why it's been banned. This is probably the single most polarizing map. You either are really good at it, or you are not quite raving with the worms.
Alright, now that we got the wiggles out of this match, let's continue with some more normal maps. Mexico, up with their second pick.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, because Hard Rock 1 was already one of the relatively easier maps. Nomad 1 is like probably the next... Oh, and they do end up going for that.
Not terribly unexpected. Nomad 1 is usually be more manageable to play for lower seeded teams like Mexico. Just by the way, Chile is number 10, Mexico is number 20, if I am not completely mistaken. And maybe they'll capitalize off the odd miss from Chile, or just somehow edge it out in terms of accuracy. But yeah, Nomad 1 is definitely something that I would have expected coming from Mexico rather than Chile.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be difficult, but there's always a chance.
There's a chance, and Mexico will have to try their hardest to punish every single mistake, even like a single 100 from Chile on this one. Although, yeah, these Nomad ones are not getting any more straightforward from this point forward.
Yeah, the fact that this map blocking is arguably the easiest map in the pool is very scary.
When you have a Hell Oni as a supposedly easy map in your map pool.
Yeah, that's rough.
I know things are getting a little bit rough.
I mean, it could be worse. You could have an Oni being the absolute hardest map in the pool if you had, like, Galaxy Collapse in there.
Or like, something that I like to say is like having like really low SR in a hidden slot. That's always incredibly suspicious to me.
Always. I mean, Hidden 1, I mean, Nomad 5 has been banned in all but 2 matches. Hidden 1 is not that far behind, I think. It's been banned like 4 times.
And hey, we still got some more matches this weekend, so it might not be the last time. Hidden 1 might still overtake Nomad 5 in terms of bans this weekend.
That's true, or they could both be banned in the same matches.
No. Not unlikely either. Alright, Nomad 1, second pick from Mexico. Starting out easy, but we'll see the results in about 2.5 minutes from now. First boost from Hyven already. At least it wasn't right at the intro, so pretty convenient spot to miss in a map with the song.
Yeah, if you have to miss anywhere, you would rather miss right at the start or right at the end. Of course, if you couldn't choose, then you would probably not miss at all, but...
If you could choose to not miss, then that's obviously preferred.
Yeah, I don't know why the players always choose not to miss instead.
So far, that's unfortunate. Logi broke the SS, meaning that the only SSs are left on the Chilean side. Yolkwi and Necromancy are plowing through this one just fine. Aineon also still sitting on the FC. And no more seed remaining on the side of Mexico.
This is looking closer than the previous maps, and it could still swing back depending on how well they can pull through the last section. But those are...
Oh. Logi struggling with the lowest V? I'm pretty sure. Like, they look to be a lot more unstable compared to the rest of the map.
Yeah,
Maybe the lowest V was tripping them up a little bit here.
yeah, Mexico having a lot of Hard Rock players, so I think that's not too surprising. That's also throwing off a bunch of other players too from other teams.
More misses from Mexico. Behalf of Logia and Maximil. Ivan still somehow holding combo, but yeah, looking at the scoreline from Chile. Actually, Necromancy found a miss earlier that I completely missed.
And Bulk, I think being on 100? 2 100s.
And once again, Chile will run away with this pick. 300,000, 400,000 scroll lead, almost. We'll take this pick off of Mexico's cold fingers. To extend their lead up to 3-0 right about now. 2.9 million. A couple more misses from Necromancy there at the end, but... yeah.
4 100s.
It sounds... yeah, it sounds a little bit unfair, but like, Yolkui, it's hard to ignore just what Yolkui puts down at every single pick so far. They're like a proper all-rounder. Someone you'd love to have on your team.
And Chile goes for Hard Rock 2, which is interesting.
3.5 minutes, 230 BPM Hard Rock. That's gonna be rough.
It definitely is a bit rough. But I think if nothing else, Mexico prefers playing this than the Hidden or... I mean, Nomad 3 or Nomad 2 seems like it'd be not ideal either, so... this is the best of what's remaining for them.
Obviously, not all hope is lost for Mexico. But if Chile wins this pick as well, then it's getting kind of dire. Mexico cannot really afford to lose any more of their own picks. If they... well, I completely lost the thread there from the enormous wall in the chat right there. My god.
I think I could... is that the if Flank has 5 million fans, I'm one of them.
Yeah, it looks like it. You do what makes you happy, chat. Anyway, we'll try to channel our energy, our focus onto Hard Rock 2. First miss by Aoi. And Xavery coming in for Mexico.
Yeah, already not a good start.
We have Shiny coming in for Chile.
I think if nothing else, this just shows how difficult the pool has gotten since round of 32. It went from Hard Rock 2 being mostly pretty accessible, mostly full combos from teams, and now hard to get a full team full combo unless you're at the very top of the teams.
And with, yeah, like 2.5 minutes to go, this will be a rough ride for Mexico. Aoi is not having a good time at all with this one. Down in 80% territory.
Yeah.
Oh, Xavery, come on!
Oh no, right at the last note.
Oh, you hate to see it. Chile running away with this one already with well beyond 300,000 points. And we've just scratched the 1 minute mark. This pick. Xavier is doing so well for the Mexican side. But yeah, you need a lot more than one player having a solid score in A rank to clutch it out here.
It's not quite enough, and with both Shiny Froakie and I think Volkui holding onto a full combo still. Not sure if Shiny Froakie is being powered up by all the copy pastas earlier.
Ernie buff exists. Shiny Froakie is feeling it. Mewtwo still having a higher accuracy by comparison, but can't really complain about any of the scores on the Chilean side at all.
Yeah, Oakley still holding on to that top score.
Oh, you know, below 80%. Maximal trying their hardest. Apparently hitting a little bit late. Which explains the accuracy. Avery is looking a lot more stable now past 400 combo. But my god, what is this lead? Chile almost has double the points of Mexico. This is brutal.
Mara is about to pass the screen at this point. But no, in fairness to the Mexican players, I see that like you are, Bar, and I empathize greatly because this is exactly how I feel when I play hard rock above like 240 BPM.
Lucky for them, this pick will be over soon, and they will be released from their shackles. Yolkui found the miss earlier, leaving that only Shiny Froakie will have the only FC in this lobby. Will they carry it till the end? 30 seconds till we find out.
It's not too hard at the end, so just needs to hold on for a bit longer.
Yuchi with another miss. Another miss from Yolkui. Will Shiny Froakie do it?
Oh my god. Actually dropping a bit, but still around 99.
There you go. Shiny Froakie with the Hard Rock 2 FC. 99%. Just there. Just 99.01%.
Fantastic play. I am definitely a fan. One of 5 million fans.
Good stuff from Chile. 4-0. Leaving Mexico in shambles. And they're up with their next pick.
It's hard to decide what to pick at this point. I think maybe Fremont 1 or Fremont 3. They're the most accessible maps.
They could have a similar situation with Nomad 1 of this to just hope that Chile will break on one of the Fremont picks, but with how they're performing, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Mexico will have to do.
The problem is just that Chile is incredibly consistent. If Alkwi isn't the one getting the top score, then it's one of his teammates. I think Maximil just said they're picking the tiebreaker.
All or nothing.
Imagine if teams could just agree to go directly to the tiebreaker for a first to one win.
This reminds me of what do you call them? A picture of an ATM, and one of the buttons is just double or nothing. Like you have like change your pin, withdraw money, and below that you have double or nothing. And I just thought that was really funny. Same situation with TV here. All right, I didn't pay attention to the pick.
Mexico picked Nomad 3, which is the 300 BPM speed map.
All right.
It's certainly brave picking speed against Chile, who I think it's fair to say have, you know, a couple of well-known speed players always known to dabble in slightly fast maps once in a while.
Just slightly.
Yeah,
Slightly.
just a bit.
I just have to, well, when you say that, I just have to remember that, Yolkui was forced to tiebreaker in EGTS last year twice, didn't practice and still won. So, yeah, I would not be surprised to see Yolkui deliver on this, at all.
Yeah, some players are just able to
Feels
go in
different.
with very minimal practice and still perform just as well. Others, like I think myself, find practice to be really helpful, but some people are really just built different.
We will see. Rather short map. Just clocking in below 2 minutes. But as you said already, doesn't hold back on speed at all. We have the first miss for Mexico, Maximil as well.
Ivan, though, actually holding up fairly well, all things considered.
Accuracy not looking too hot, but yet to find a miss. Same story for Chile, who are all holding 99% and more. And there's the miss from Ivan.
Yeah, Chile is just destroying this map.
Sizable lead for the Chilean players. Again, over 300,000 points. We're entering a low SV section. Now we find many 100s. Ivan drops accuracy significantly.
All things considered, this is not an insurmountable lead.
It's not a total disaster for Mexico, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them for still giving it their all.
Yeah, I mean, this map pool is really difficult.
Maximil with a miss, Ivan pushing past 400 combo, but Chile once again running away with this, still sitting on high 99s, lowest being iNeon, who dropped down to 99.1% accuracy briefly.
Yeah.
Is building it back up, and that is a Team FC from Chile, alright.
That's extremely impressive. Alquay and Mucci only being 1/100 apart.
Chile has a combined 34 100s.
That's just insane.
And then you have Ivan, Mexico, with 96. And 4 misses.
Maximil... Oh, no, he had 97. Okay, I didn't see that finisher.
Yeah, and just like that, Chile is on match point. We didn't mention it yet, but this is the losers bracket match, so whoever loses this will be out of TWC for this year, unfortunately. The other team will live to see another day to face off against, let me just check, New Zealand.
So, they have something to look forward to then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Both New Zealand and the winner of this match. My god, New Zealand is just... Probably... it shouldn't be that surprising to me, but like... I just love seeing New Zealand's performance in TWC this year so far. It's just... Even if they go out tomorrow, they can surely be proud of themselves for what they managed to accomplish. Same with Mexico, really. If they succumb to this pick.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is, I think, the furthest Mexico has made it in TWC in, I think, any of their rosters. And, yeah, the winner faces New Zealand. New Zealand is also constantly a team that just surpasses expectations.
I was almost tempted to buy myself a New Zealand banner. Almost.
Almost. What stopped you from paying $2.50 USD for a banner to support a team?
What stopped me was supporting my home country of Germany for $2.50 USD. Go Germany.
And if Germany were to win, or the team you chose were to win, then you get the banner for even longer.
I got a secret trick for you. Buy the Japan banner if you want to be boring. Alright.
Man. Yeah, Mexico still having some accuracy issues. It's not really... It's closer than it was in previous maps, though.
Yoki with a bit of an odd miss there at the start. I would say Aoi and Yoki are trading, but once again the accuracy gap is not to be overlooked here.
Yeah, not exactly an equal trade, but Mexico is still holding on for dear life.
Yeah, with quarterfinals we're starting to see the skill cap on some of these teams, and it's quite obvious that Mexico will get the shorts end here.
Yeah,
Short end of the
Chile.
stick? Short of the stick, that's what I was looking for. There we go.
Short end of the stick.
Yeah, I was like, there's something missing there, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, Chile is currently rampaging through losers bracket after a very tough loss to the UK. They're just bouncing back.
And good thing that Chile is currently looking to close out this match early, because they probably don't want to give too much information away to New Zealand tomorrow, if they make it.
That's true.
There's still a chance, as small as it may be, for Mexico to turn this back around. Ivan sitting on a 95%, actually holding combo for a pretty significant portion of the map. Same with Maximil, who's also sitting on a 95%, but... this is rough. This is not how you want to see a team go out in TWC. Whoa, that was a big amount of misses.
That's a big stream.
And yeah, that's it. Chile will just wipe Mexico off the bracket 6-0. One miss from Miyuchi, and Yokwi just leaves.
Yeah,
Yokwi's done.
All business.
That's just another day in the life of a seasoned tournament player.
Just win, immediately leave.
Man, congratulations to Chile, but a valiant effort by Mexico. Even though they had at most 2 players for every pick that could really perform, it was obvious that they weren't going down without a fight. And yeah, still congratulations to them for having made it so far into quarterfinals of TWC, but this is the end of their run. Chile will face off against the losers bracket against New Zealand tomorrow at some time.
0 UTC, so
Ooh,
it's actually a lot sooner than you might expect.
just only, what, like 5.5 hours?
Yeah, I think it might actually be like 4.5.
Oh, me? Still not used to summertime in Europe? Impossible.
Impossible. Time zones are not confusing at all.
Not at all. And yeah, this will also be the next match in TWC quarterfinals. There will obviously be a couple more matches, but you know where to find information. Just look at it in the wiki or look at the spreadsheet for TWC this year. You'll have all the information at your fingertips as far as matches are concerned. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
There we go.
4.5 hours, Chile versus New Zealand, and just look at these matches. You wouldn't want to miss any of these. There's still a good chunk of winner bracket matches that are incredibly exciting to look forward to happening this weekend. So yeah, stick around. You wouldn't want to miss any of these. I sure wouldn't.
Yeah, me neither. So we'll just see you all in around 4 hours.
Yep. That's been enough from us, and yeah, we'll see you soon.